It happened in our village many years ago, but it feels like it was only yesterday. I was just a young girl at the time, but I still remember it all so clearly, as if the whole village were living it with me. This is the story of Amina, a girl who could dance so beautifully. She could make even the wildest of animals stop and watch in awe. You see, Amina was not like other girls in our village. While others spent their time weaving baskets, gathering firewood, or fetching water, Amina spent her days practicing her dancing by the edge of the river. Our village had a tradition, passed down from the elders, that every year during the harvest festival, we would all gather around the fire and perform dances to honor the spirits of the land. Amina had been chosen by the village elders to lead the dance that year. Her grace and fluid movements made her the natural choice, and everyone was looking forward to seeing her dance. But what no one knew was that Amina's talent had drawn the attention of someone, or rather, something much more sinister. It was late one afternoon when Amina first saw the hyena. It had been a long day of practice, and the sun was beginning to set. Amina had stayed behind after everyone else had gone home. Her feet were sore, but she was determined to perfect her moves. The rhythm of the drums echoed in her ears, and she could almost feel the spirits of her ancestors guiding her. As she danced, a rustling sound came from the bushes nearby. At first, Amina thought it was just the wind, but then she heard it again, closer this time. Out from the tall grass stepped a large hyena, its golden eyes gleaming in the fading sunlight. Amina froze, but the hyena didn't move. It simply watched her, its head tilted to the side, as if it was trying to understand what she was doing. "Why do you stare at me, beast?" Amina whispered, trying to steady her breath. The hyena didn't respond, of course. It was just an animal, but Amina felt something strange. It was as if the animal understood her, as if it was waiting for something then. To Amina's surprise, the hyena spoke. "Your dance is beautiful," it said in a low, raspy voice. "But I can give you something far more precious than what you seek from these dances. I can give you power. I can give you strength beyond measure." Amina was shocked. In all her years in the village, she had never heard of an animal speaking. She thought she must be imagining things, but the hyena's gaze was piercing, and its voice had an undeniable weight to it. "What do you mean?" Amina asked, her curiosity overtaking her fear. "I can teach you the dance of the wild," the hyena continued. "A dance that no human has ever learned. With it, you will have the strength to win any battle, the power to bend others to your will. I can give you a gift no one else can." Amina hesitated. She loved dancing, but the thought of being able to control others, of having such power, was tempting. She had always been a shy girl, but in this dance, she could become someone important. She could become someone people would respect. "Why are you offering this to me?" Amina asked, still unsure. The hyena's eyes glinted with something unreadable. "Because I see something in you, Amina. A fire that burns brighter than any other. You are special, and I can make you even more special." Without thinking, Amina agreed. The hyena's voice seemed to have cast a spell over her, and she found herself standing up, ready to learn whatever this strange creature had to offer. The hyena led her deep into the forest, far away from the village, where no one could see them. There, in a hidden glade, the hyena taught Amina the dance of the wild. It was a rhythm unlike anything she had ever heard, an erratic beat, a pulse that resonated deep within her. The movements were wild, untamed, and raw, and at first, Amina struggled to keep up. But the hyena was patient, guiding her through each step with a low, hypnotic chant. She was no longer the shy, quiet girl she had once been. She walked with confidence, her every move filled with authority. People began to notice her, and soon, she was the talk of the village. Everyone admired her as the days passed. Amina's dance grew more powerful. She could feel the change inside her. Grace, her strength, and the beauty of her dancing. But something else was happening too. Amina began to change in ways that were not as easy to see. Her mind became consumed by the dance, by the power it gave her. She became obsessed with it, refusing to dance any other way. She ignored the warnings of the village elders, who spoke of keeping traditions alive. The dance of the wild was no longer a celebration of life. It was a tool for control. Then came the harvest festival. The whole village gathered around the bonfire, excited to see Amina's dance. But when she took the stage, something was different. The air grew heavy, as if the very earth beneath her feet was trembling. Her movements were sharp and erratic, filled with the raw energy of the hyena's teachings, but they lacked the grace and spirit that had once made her dance so beautiful. The villagers watched in silence as Amina danced, and slowly, a sense of unease filled the air. They began to whisper among themselves, wondering why she wasn't dancing as she had before. Her steps grew wilder, her eyes wild with fever. It was as though the power she had gained had consumed her completely, and she could no longer control it. Then, in the midst of her dance, something snapped. Amina collapsed to the ground, her body convulsing as the power of the wild took over her. The hyena appeared beside her, its golden eyes glowing brighter than ever. "You wanted power," the hyena said, its voice cold. "Now you have it." But Amina was no longer herself. The power she had sought had destroyed her from within. She had traded her soul for strength, and in the end, it had cost her everything. The villagers, horrified by what they saw, rushed to her side. But it was too late. Amina was gone, lost to the wild dance she had learned from the hyena after that night. The villagers never saw Amina again. Some say she became one with the hyenas, roaming the forest in search of others to lure into the dance of power. Others believe she was taken by the spirits, punished for her greed and desire for control. The elders, though, had a warning for us. Some dances, no matter how tempting, are not meant for humans. Power that comes from a place of darkness can never be used for good, and that, my friend, is the story of Amina and the dance that consumed her. It is a tale passed down through generations in our village, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of staying true to who we are. This version of the story stays true to the themes of power, greed, and the consequences of losing oneself in pursuit of something that seems too good to be true. It's woven into the fabric of African traditions, using a village setting, cultural references, and a lesson that feels timeless and universal.